Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the best item in every Pokemon generation. Now, my last video, which I admit has been a long time ago, I know, was about the best move in every Pokemon generation. This time we're doing items, and we'll see if this series continues, we'll see if we do abilities next or whatever. But today, I just want to go through every generation and just talk about best item in every generation. Let's just get into it. So for generation 1 we have the nothing because all items were banned in battle. I know, it's kind of crazy that they banned full restore, but it is what it is. There was no such thing as held items in generation 1, but it was like, with the start. So but generation 2 was really the change of things, right? We started to see items become a thing, like Old Brick, I believe it's called, the signature item of Machop, which was like a whole thing with trading. But eventually we get to generation 2, right? And we see some very basic levels of items. We see berries, right? But we also see the leftovers. Leftovers is very basic in how it works. Leftover, right? At the end of every turn, the holder restores 1/16 of its max HP. So basically, every turn you are going to heal up a little. This is very good on Pokemon like Dondozo that are very bulky and want healing on every turn. Wo-Chen wants healing on every turn. So basically, any Pokemon with healing on every turn is definitely going to want to use this. Generation 3, we have the Choice Band. So the Choice Scarf and Choice Specs items didn't exist yet, but the Choice Band did. And it's very interesting, just like how that happened. So the Choice Band holder's attack is 1.5 times, but can only select the first move it uses, right? So if I have, 4 moves, let's say on this Rayquaza, I put, Dragon's Ascent. I don't know. I'm just doing them. Oh, it doesn't get Outrage? That's funny. Oh, no, it does. I just put it wrong, I guess. Extreme Speed and, Fly. I don't really care what I put on this thing. If I pick one of these moves, I can't use the rest until I swap out. So, I'm basically locked into it, but I get a lot more damage off. And this is actually really good on a lot of Pokemon. Dragapult really commonly runs this, and just, it's really good, right? Because it's, multiplying your attack by a lot. So it's, already starting out with a big buff, right? It's essentially starting out with, a 1.5 times buff. So, yeah, Choice Band's just a really great item. Next up we have Generation 4, and I chose the Focus Sash. So the Focus Sash basically allows you to live on 2 hits, right? So basically if your Pokemon's always going to get knocked out on the first hit, this is literally just giving you a second chance to claw back, right? This could give you a second attack. This could give you even a third attack, right? It allows you to survive a hit, right? However, if your Pokemon's already naturally taking hits, you're not going to run the Focus Sash, right? Because you're not getting full use out of it, right? So it's very good on Pokemon like Shijinja, which only has 1 HP, Weavile here, which has very low defenses, Chien-Pao, when that comes back, and all that. So Pokemon that are very frail really want to use the Focus Sash, because it's basically doubling your strength, basically, because you're hitting 2 times instead of 1. So you're doing double the damage. You can get 2 knockouts with it. You can just do a lot with Focus Sash. Focus Sash is a very good item. You get to do double the moves, and it's just a really great item because of that. But yeah, it's really good on frail Pokemon. So yeah. Generation 5, I'm picking the Eviolite. This item makes so many Pokemon viable. Makes Porygon 2 viable, makes Clefairy viable, makes Dusclops viable. Try now to think who else it makes viable. Those are the first ones that pop into my head, right? Eviolite's a very good item, It raises your defense by 50%, special defense by 50%, as long as your Pokemon pre-evolved. I ran Eviolite Magneton once. It was very fun. Eviolite Magneton, right? Because Magneton only has 10 less special attack than Magnezone, and it's actually faster, so that was a fun thing I did once. Eviolite, just a really good item. Very good. Just being able to bulk hits, so... And then, you have no drawbacks for running it. Next up, we have Generation 6 with the Assault... Wait, something doesn't feel right. Yep, we're not talking about the Assault Vest, we're talking about the Kangaskhanite. So let's talk about Gen 6 best item, the Kangaskhanite, right? So the Kangaskhanite allows Kangaskhan to transform into Mega Kangaskhan, this is obviously the best item, right? I considered not putting it on this list because Mega Evolutions don't exist, but, like, let's talk about the Kangaskhan, right? Mega Evolution was, like, the core of Gen 6, and even a bit of Gen 7, since, honestly, Megas were better than T-moves. So, yeah. Mega Kangaskhan, it's a very powerful Pokemon, parental bond. Being to, well, in its current phase, right now, it can do, like, a point, I don't know why they don't say it, guess because it's spam now, but, like, you get to do, like, 1.25 damage after your attack, so it's like a second attack. It's always going to break through Focus Sash, which is a previous item we mentioned, so it's really good just getting that extra damage. Being able to use, like, 2 power-up punches to get 2 attack boosts, it's just really strong, right? So you're getting more damage, and you're basically getting a second smaller attack, because it's like both the Kangaskhan and the baby Kangaskhan attack at the same time, which is like really cool. Next up, we got Generation 7 with the Psychic Seed. They really slowed down on new items around Gen 7, right? So there's a lot less new offensive items. I chose this over every other Z Crystal because, honestly, Z moves kind of stink. You only get one shot of them, but, like, they're really powerful, and it's, like, a whole thing. And it's, like, hard to just pick one Z Crystal to be the best, so I chose the Psychic Seed since it's still relevant today, right? Having that special defense boost as soon as Psychic Terrain shows up. And I chose to use the Psychic Seed because the Psychic Seed, right, has access to a defense boost and special defense boost in Psychic Terrain. This allows you to just, like, bulk hits better, allows you to activate Unburden instantly while in terrain, and I chose specifically the Psychic Seed because I think that's the seed that sees the most usage, right? Misty Seed's rarely seen usage because, like, no Pokemon really pairs well in Misty terrain. It's mostly just Tapu Fini sets it up, and that's it. Electric Seed gets usage now, but, like, it did not in the past. Grassy Seed, see it every now and then, but, like, just because you're running Rillaboom doesn't mean you're running a Grassy Seedmon. Psychic Seed just seems like the best one. And then for Generation 8, I chose the Eject Pack. There wasn't really a lot of good items introduced in Generation 8. There was, like, the heavy-duty boots, which were, like, really bad in Generation 8, so, And then, like, you get to... So, basically, the Eject Pack works that, like, every time you get a stat drop, you will be able to instantly switch out. This is really good on Pokemon like Draco Meteor here on Eternatus to instantly swap out. Overheat Torkoal, instantly swap out after your special attack is lowered. Just stat drops aren't really ever a problem. So yeah, it's always a really good time with a jetpack. It's the best item. It's better than Cell Battery or Room Service. Generation 8 didn't really have a lot of items, right? So a jetpack just felt like the best answer. Gen 9 started ramping up with more new items, It was a really tough decision with Clear Amulet and Loaded Dice and a whole bunch of other stuff. Booster Energy. So it was really hard to make this choice, but I landed on the Covert Cloak because I feel like that's the one that sees the most usage in all formats. So basically with the Covert Cloak, you can ignore secondary effects. So even if it's a 100% chance of secondary effect, like the 100% chance of flinch from Fake Out, you can't get flinched by Rock Slide, you can't get flinched by Dark Pulse, you can't get your special attack lowered by Snarl or Struggle Bug, you can't get speed lowered by Icy Wind, you can't get burnt, frozen, or paralyzed by any moves with that chance, you can't get slept by Dire Claw. So it's just like a great negate effect to anything that really wants to use its secondary effect well. It's just a really great item. Definitely something worth running on any Pokemon. And that's really it. I think these items are all really great. Wish I could have talked about the Assault Vest, but the King is gone.